Hi, you guys. Welcome back. So, for those that actually do have my TikTok and everything this morning, actually spoke about, anyone that you had a falling out with, right? Like I always say, it doesn't matter if it is family, it could be friendship, it can be somebody at your job. It could be a friend, honestly. It could even be a spouse, right? My thing is why, after a fallout, you feel the way you do, the other person feels the way they do, and in their mind, they don't want to make it right. But when they let that pride go to the side and they decide, you know what, I ain't even trying to be like that no more, this was something that should have never happened, or hey, I love you, man, I love you, girl, let's make it work, right? So they come back, and then when you let your guard down and you open your heart again, and you're just like, you know what, whatever, let's see what could come from this. And then when you do that and you take the time out to understand, like, oh wow, I really got my friendship back, or I really got my man or woman back. Let me actually make the first move because they put the pride to the side to hit me up. And every time you do that, nothing happens. Like, it is no response, or it's like brief. And me personally, that makes me feel like this right here, it's just a waste of time because we sat here and we talked about it. We understood what the issues were, and now going forward, we're in a better space. So, what do you do after a situation like that? Me personally, I don't know. I look at that like, trust me, don't nobody want their money wasted. Don't get me wrong, but I would rather have somebody waste my money than waste my time. Because at the end of the day, you can't go back and get that time back that you wasted on this person or these people. And then you got to think about your feelings. Like, wow, I really thought it could have been something different. Yeah, I know my mindset. People be out here trying to play you. They they be trying to play you. And I know I said I've come to the understanding that I'm gonna stop saying that and look at it in a different light. No, I don't think that's ever gonna change with me because life wouldn't be life, and if it wasn't people out here trying you. They try you in different aspects. They try you when you're down. They try you when you're trying to succeed and something failed. And that's where the little slick jokes and all that come from. Or, like now, just for me talking about this back in the day, the way I used to be, I would have been like, you know what? Let me not do this because I have friends out there. I have family out there. Shoot, I don't want nobody feeling no type of way. But at the end of the day, these are my feelings. This is my podcast. I have the right and the ability to talk about whatever I want to. And I only said that to point out how sometimes you could be sitting here and you know what you got to say, you know what you want to say, but you don't because you have a big old heart and you're unsure how it can make somebody else feel. At the end of the day, when it comes down to your feelings, sometimes, well, I don't even want to say sometimes, you need to think about you. You know what I'm saying? Because who's going to live this life for you? Absolutely nothing. Everything you do in life, it is a reaction, either a good one or a bad one. But at the end of the day, since we decided to sit here and make the choices that we made, we have to deal with whatever comes from that. We can't sit here and blame it on somebody else or make it seem like I wasn't where it should have been. Well, you know what? I take that back. Because in certain instances, when that mindset ain't right, man, you turn into a whole different person. And then when you sit there and think about it, like, why would I have ever done that? What I talked about before. We was in the midst of a storm. That's why. When certain things be happening, just like I said though, everything in life happens for a reason. Absolutely nothing is accidental. Like nothing. I be thinking like, you know what? That was just luck. That wasn't luck. Either it was your time after all that hard work you've been getting done. That's why things turn out the way they did. Or, God forbid, if it's something bad, I be trying to think about it. Like, how do you see the positive when something bad happens or something doesn't pull through? As always, me personally, I look at it as we weren't ready for it or we wouldn't have been able to handle it. Because don't get me wrong, when we actually make it, you know, being humble, that kind of goes out the window a little bit because you think about it like I've really been working my butt off to get this and can't nobody tell me nothing and this and that. I mean, I get it. I understand it, but in the same sense, you can't sit here and look at yourself like I'm that nigga or I'm that girl. You know what I'm saying? You can't look at it like that. Because if you sit here and you start to look at it like that, God works, man. God be working 24/7. If you don't know how to sit here and humble yourself, all that hard work that you did, that's when the failures come into play. You can't sit here and make it seem like I did that. And, I used to be there, but I ain't there no more. So, yeah, I better get it together. No. Again, me personally, I feel like in life, when we make it, it's kind of like we did that, but in the same sense, let me remember where I used to be. And if I come around people that was where I was, let me not get into that little showboat emotion, but sit here, and just be normal. Don't let your blessing get the best out of you. But as always, I'm going somewhere else with this. But the main reason why I brought that up, when people that you rekindle back with and they just treat you like you a stranger on the street and all that, because instances like that can happen anywhere. Like I said earlier, it could be family, it could be friends, it could be work, it could be anybody. Who knows? That's why life be lifing. But and then when it comes down to an issue like that, when you sit here and just talk about your feelings or how you feeling or whatever, it's always that person or it's always them people that turn this situation into something bigger, and you sitting here talking about them and this and that, and half the time it don't even got nothing to do with you. Don't be mad at me because the shoe fits. That don't got nothing to do with me. You either wear the shoe or you continue to be the person that you are right now. Either way, it don't got nothing to do with me. That's on you. If you ain't trying to grow, if you ain't trying to better yourself and still stay the way that you were, and why you keep losing people and why nobody is taking you seriously or they don't want to be around you, that don't got nothing to do with people. When instances happen in life and it's different people, but it's kind of sort of like the same situation, at some point you got to take accountability and be like, you know what? Even though I don't want to admit this, Maybe I am the problem. Maybe it's me. And I'm not saying that you're in the midst or you're doing something wrong. Sometimes I change that. Sometimes you could grow, and the people that you used to be around or the person that you used to talk to or whatever, sometimes you outgrow them. And it's not like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I don't like you. I don't want to talk to you. It's none of that. It's just the way we think is different because you're still thinking the same way that we was thinking 10 years ago. At some point, when are you going to grow up? I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't sit here and force you to grow up. You are the only one that's in charge of your life. You know what I'm saying? All the actions, all the moves that you make, and can't nobody force you to do nothing. But I do have the option to sit here and say, hey, where I'm going in my life, where I see my life, I no longer see you or y'all a part of it. I don't wish you no bad blood, no none of that. I'm just saying the way we think is different, and the things you be saying, the things you be doing, it kind of triggers me. But who am I to sit here and tell you, hey, the way you live in your life triggers me. You need to change it. No. And then, no, I take that back because sometimes if you talking to the right people, like I talked about before, we have to, I still have this issue. We have to sit here and realize our tone. You know what I'm saying? Like you could say something and it could be good, but the way it came off, it made the other person feel some type of way. I never understood that. I never understood that until it was brought to my attention. Where I'm at in my life right now, I'm not going to sit here and say, you can't tell me about me. If we sit here having a conversation and you don't like the way I'm talking to you, you have all right to sit here and stop me in my tracks and be like, hey, I get you trying to let me know how you feeling, but in the same sense, the way you're speaking to me, it's triggering me to respond back in a way that you're not gonna like. And we're gonna end up arguing with each other. That's why, at some point, it be us. Sometimes we are the problem. But to fix that problem, we have to be able to sit here and be like, hey, you know what? Let me throw that pride to the side and own up. And when you do own up, if that person or if those people don't accept it, you can't force them. You just gotta live with that. But you did all that you could do for yourself, for your sanity. Like I say, man, we can't change people out in these streets. We can. It would be dope if we could, though. I would have changed a lot of people. And I'm sure a lot of people would have changed me. But we don't have that ability. And we don't even know how people be living life out here. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever really been in contact with someone that really sat here and told you all that they went through? Like every single thing. They didn't leave nothing out. They didn't sugarcoat nothing. At the end of the day, all of us don't truly know another person. And I mean, a lot of y'all probably like, I know my people. I don't know who you be hanging around. No. Sometimes the way you live in, if someone was a little better off or worse off, do you really think they're going to sit here and put you in a situation where now every time you look at them or talk to them, you're just going to sit there and pity them? No. That's why I be saying you never know what the next person is going through. That's why, even with the start of this conversation, that's another thing. You can't sit here and be like, oh, okay, so we're back to normal and this and that. At the end of the day, just because you got people in your corner, That don't mean you gotta talk to that person every single day. Not like every day, but you can't sit here and want me back or want to be back in the group when I'm trying and it's not reciprocated. Or you be out in these streets living life with other people and I'm just trying to, hey, just trying to do a little something and I can't even get that at that point. I'm over it. I think that's what 2024 is doing to me. We have to come to the point where we ain't begging nobody to be in our lives or we ain't begging nobody to grow up. We can't do that because why are you sitting here trying to force somebody to be on the level that you're at where they didn't even take the steps to even get there? So you trying to give them a cheat book. Who gave you a cheat book? Absolutely no one. That's why I always thought it was really mean to sit here and, because like I always say, you never know when your last day is, you know? And the way I used to think like, you know what? God forbid if something happens or whatever, I don't want to end on bad terms or, never be able to sit here and say what I truly feel and this and that. At the end of the day, man, you got to think about it like this. The way, no, 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 no. Okay, let me still say it though. I was about to say the way you're trying to be there for other people, would they be there for you in the same way? No, do not listen to that. I came to the realization you can't live life looking for the way you are to be reciprocated. People don't live life like that. People don't live like you. People don't understand how manners are truly important. You can't be mad because someone didn't treat you with the same respect that you treated them with. They just displayed their character to you. You can't sit there and rebuild their character. That's the type of person they are. You better not sit there and rebuild that person. You sit there and rebuild that person. Mm-mm. That act is not gonna last long because actors sometimes miss up. You know what I'm saying? They gonna forget what you was looking for. They gonna forget what they've been doing. Don't rebuild nobody. Let these people be who they are. The only thing for you is, hey, am I really going to sit here and accept all this, even though I know how mad I be feeling at times and I keep bringing it to their attention and nothing's changing? Or am I just going to sit here and understand, like, hey, these are how these people are. I can't change them. I can't do anything. That's the thing, man. So, the gist of this episode is number one, if the shoe fits, wear it. If you don't want to wear it and you still want to be who you are, that's cool too. Number two, I have the option of dealing with you or not. You can't force me to deal with you. And number three, the other person cannot be mad because you're choosing to leave them where they are. You can't force me. Mm-mm. And I just want to let everybody know out there, know your worth. Know what you deserve. Know what you bring to the table. Don't have a person out there making you feel like you're not doing enough or you're not enough. You are enough. Keep making it do what it do and stay surrounded around positivity because this world is enough. We don't need to be surrounded around people that can't even see that something can happen. It's hard though, but keep trying. Never stop. As always, you guys, I really hope that this episode helps someone out there. Alrighty, you guys, I will talk to you guys next Sunday. Or who knows, I might post another video on TikTok tomorrow. Alrighty, you guys, have a great night.